Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy X Remastered on the PC. We are in Besaid Village. Seemingly not in another place than we were originally, but in another time. Supposedly, the city that Titus is from was destroyed 1,000 years ago, as far as these people know. So, we're just sort of bumbling through and trying to learn more about this world we find ourselves in. And maybe eventually trying to find a way back, but you never know. There's a big journey ahead of us. Alright, so I think we're just going into the temple. We were told to pay our respects to the summoner.
It was then, standing in that place. I began to realize how different this world was from my own.
Okay.
Ten years have passed since Lord Braska became High Summoner. And finally, we receive a statue for our temple.
Oh, what's a High Summoner? I got too close to Sin's, toxin. It was funny hearing myself make the same excuse over and over. Funny, and a little sad.
The Summoners are practitioners of a sacred art, sworn to protect the people of Yevon. Only a chosen few become Summoners, who call forth entities of great power, the Aeons. The Aeons hear our prayers and come down to us. They are the blessing of Yevon.
So what he meant was that we should respect some kind of great men, or something like that, I figured.
Okay. Only sworn guardians may approach the cloister of trials. Alright. Well, summoner's not here. Or are they? I don't know. Let's go chat with Waka. He'll know what to do. This isn't Waka.
Sorry, man. No time for lunch yet. Take a nap. You look pushed.
Alright. Nothing better to do than that.
You could at least go see how they are doing.
We can't interfere. It's a rule.
But it's been nearly. But it's been nearly.
It's been nearly a day already.
Perhaps you could go look for us.
People are searching for him now.
Thank you.
Who cares whether he comes back or not?
But he might die.
Fine, let him.
Do you hate him so? But if he dies, You'll never be able to tell him how much you hate him.
Waka?
So Titus's dad is Jack, right? Who you saw as sort of the surfer-looking dude up on the big screens. He was like the biggest blitzball star to ever blitzball. And Titus and him did not get along, as you just saw. And then Jack suddenly disappeared one day. And, kind of makes you think, I wonder where Jack is. Well, you'll find out.
Is something wrong?
The summoner hasn't returned from the trial.
Eh?
Well, apprentice summoner, really.
Huh?
There's a room in there called the Cloister of Trials. Beyond is where the apprentice summoner prays. If the prayer is heard, the apprentice becomes a fully fledged summoner. Remember?
So someone is in there somewhere and they haven't come back out. Right, I got it.
A day's already gone by.
Is it particularly dangerous in there?
Sometimes, yes.
Why don't you go in and help?
There's already guardians in there. Besides, it's forbidden.
Hey, but what if something happens? What if the summoner dies?
Our precepts must be obeyed.
Like I care.
He's not a very respectful individual. I don't know why Waka says that...
This wasn't such a good idea after all.
I don't know why he says Cloister of Trials can sometimes be dangerous. I don't think any Cloister of Trials ever offers any sort of danger whatsoever. There are annoying puzzles, but there's no, like, monsters and... I don't know. Alright, so this is the first Cloister of Trials. They generally consist of glyphs and spheres. So we activate this glyph, which then activates this wall, which then, if we touch this one, it should open up. And now we can go down. But you'll see here there's all these, like, pedestals and things like that. And down here... yeah, you see we can place something in the little orb. Or in the little, hole. Same thing here. Right, yes, okay. So there's multiple different spheres. And they can open different doors, they can activate different things. And they can also, destruction spheres give you a treasure. There's, I think, one treasure in every Cloister of Trials, and usually you want to get it because it's generally pretty decent. And do we want to actually take this back? You can only hold one sphere at a time, which is really strange. I mean, you've got two hands at the very least. I guess we want to leave that there. I don't know. I've done... I've done the Cloister of Trials many times. But I still don't remember much about each one. Okay, here we have a Besaid sphere. And that we'll put in this pedestal. We'll open that up. That's how we continue, but don't forget about the destruction sphere. Which you're gonna put into this wall. Blow you up. And so this gives us the Rod of Wisdom, which is a rod, obviously. Now Titus can't use rods, and Waka doesn't use rods. So what's up with that? Am I right?
Hey! What's gotten into you? Hey, it's okay. Only summoners, apprentice summoners, and their guardians can enter here. It's a tradition, very important.
So what about you?
Me? I'm a guardian.
A guardian? Whoa! Ah!
Summoners go on a pilgrimage to pray at every temple in Spira. Guardians protect them. The Guardian's in there now. One of them's got a sure fuse, and who knows what the other's thinking. Well, now that we've come this far, might as well go all the way.
What are you doing here? Didn't think we'd be able to handle it.
No, it's just... See, I told you she gets mad easy.
Is the summoner all right?
Who are you?
I've done it. I have become a summoner.
Man, was I surprised. And here I was thinking summoners were all old geezers.
Alright, and so we were introduced to Lulu, Kamari, and Yuna, which means we have now been introduced pretty much to every playable character. Kamari is basically Beast.
Hey, over here!
From the X-Men. Lulu is
What?
well, you know which one is Lulu.
Wait till you see this.
I can't see anything.
And Yuna is our main female character.
Okay.
Who, of course, you know, is gonna fall for Titus and blah blah blah. Story as old as time.
I had never seen anything like it in my life. Sure, it was a little scary, but still, I could feel a strange kind of gentleness coming from it.
I feel like those lines of dialogue could be taken way out of context. So summons in this game are called Aeons, and they're only available to Yuna, and there's a decent amount of them. And there's a little bit of Final Fantasy VIII in how they work. But basically, during combat, Yuna can summon an Aeon, and it basically takes over for the party. It comes in, the party goes away, and so the only creature you get to control is the Aeon. And it has its own HP, it has its own MP, it has its own abilities, it has its own overdrive, and if it dies, or you send it away, then your party comes back. I generally have Yuna as the main character just because some of the summons later on can be really, really helpful. Bahamut, which I don't think that's really a spoiler, but Bahamut, when you get him, is the first way that you can break the damage cap. Because up to that point, you can only do up to 9,999 damage, and he can actually go beyond that. When you get him is really good, because he can actually go beyond it, which you generally are not really close to that. So he's really powerful, and later on, I just really like how powerful the summons are. So I usually play with Yuna, but this playthrough, I think we are not going to. Not that much.
That night, we talked for the first time. I didn't know it then, but after that night, everything changed. For everyone. For me.
Let me introduce you to the team. This guy here wants into the tournament so bad, I let him on the team. His memory's a little fuzzy, so don't mind him if he says anything odd. Come on, say hi.
Hi guys. So what's our goal?
To do our best! Nope, we got a new goal now. Our new goal is victory! To win every match, defeat every opposing team, to bring the Crystal Cup back to our island. That's all we need to do to win. Easy, huh? Victory! 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 Yeah!
You heathen!
Stay away from the summoner! You're a bad man!
Lady Yuna, be careful.
But it was really my fault to begin with.
Oh.
I'm Yuna. Thank you so much for your help earlier.
Huh? I'm sorry about that. Wasn't I not supposed to... Guess I kinda overreacted.
Oh, no. I was overconfident.
I saw that Aeon thing. That's amazing.
Really? Do you think I can become High Summoner?
Lady Yuna, come play with me some more.
So, tomorrow then.
Tomorrow?
We're going on the same boat, aren't we?
Oh, really?
We can talk more.
Huh.
You can tell me all about Xanarkand.
She's cute, yeah?
Yeah, she is cute. I mean, she doesn't have what Lulu has, but who
Don't
does?
get no ideas.
No promises there, big guy. Hey, but what if she, like, comes on to me?
That's not going to happen.
No, it's
If
not.
you get tired, let me know. I had a bed made for you. Ready for bed? Good. Sleep tight.
Yeah, who needs to stay up at a campfire and talk to a cute girl all night? Let's just go to bed. Sleep with a lantern lit next to your face? Why would you do that?
Where's that boat?
Everyone will find us if it doesn't come soon.
You really sure this is okay?
Would you take me to Xanarkand?
Hey! You said you'd go with me!
Oh, hey,
I thought Waka told you not to get any ideas.
He did?
Yeah, so you're coming with me.
Hey, stop dreaming! You with a woman? You can't even catch a ball! Oh, what's the matter? Gonna cry again? Cry. That's the only thing you're good for.
I hate you.
Huh? What'd you say?
You have to speak loudly.
I hate you!
Huh?
That's the spirit.
You can do it!
Titus can't even score in his dreams.
He's dead, okay? Dead.
He does look a lot like Chapu. I was surprised too, the first time I saw him. But no matter what he looks like, he isn't Chapu. You shouldn't have brought him here in the first place.
Yeah, but he needed our help.
Excuses again?
Yeah, but...
That's it. No more. Enough, Waka.
Scary. So, who's Chapu?
My little brother, Chapu. Looked like you.
He's dead?
He was with the Crusaders when they fought Sin last year. He didn't make it. I first heard on the day of the tournament.
Oh, so that's why.
I became a guardian to fight Sin, yeah?
Revenge, then?
That was the idea. I'm more worried about a stupid game now than avenging my brother. Well, after the next tournament, I'll be a guardian full-time. I know it kinda looks like I'm using you, but I'm not.
Don't worry. I mean, I owe you a lot. You really helped me out, you know? What I mean is... Thanks, Waka.
Stop. You're embarrassing me.
So yeah, Waku's brother, who for some reason looked like Titus, fought with the Crusaders against Sin, and he died in the process. Now, there's a little bit more to that story, but we won't find that out for a little while.
Hey, sleepyhead. Something I want to give you.
Whoa! You're giving this to me?
Yeah, use it well.
That's the sword you gave Chapu.
Well, he never used it. Where's Yuna?
We're taking the same boat as Yuna, right? Why do we gotta wait here?
Yuna came to this village 10 years ago, when the last calm started.
The calm?
Since then, she's been like a little sister to me and Lulu. But she had the talent. She became an apprentice. Now, today, she leaves as a summoner.
This is our journey. We should leave together. You really don't need all that luggage.
They're not really my things. They're gifts for the temples we're to visit.
This isn't a vacation, Yuna.
I guess you're right.
Okay, off we go.
So we will have no luggage. Okay, so we have a 4-person group now. We can only have 3 in combat at a time, but as a new addition, you can actually swap characters in the middle of combat, which is pretty interesting. First, let's move along here. We got a lot of empty nodes, which sucks. Waka is pretty much going on the path we're planning to go. So now let's get to equipment. So you only have 2 in this game. You have a weapon and you have armor. It's very stripped down. And what's more... weapons... Well, really, all equipment, by default, is identical. There's no, like, attack numbers or anything like that, or accuracy numbers. The longsword and the Brotherhood, ignoring everything else, are identical. Just like every other sword he will find. Except, I think the ultimate weapon has an innate quality that's different, I think? But anyways, what's really different is the abilities on the right-hand side. So the abilities are all passive effects, okay? And these are things such as strength plus 5%, or poison strike, or for armor you could have lightning proof, or you could have auto haste. You know, all these types of things come from equipment. Now, if it's a pretty crappy piece of equipment, it'll only have 1 potential ability, 1 slot. If it's a really good, it'll have up to 4 slots. For quite a while, you'll be just using equipment that you pick up, you find or whatever. And you just pick the one that works best for you. Later on, however, you can start to customize equipment. And so you can actually spend items in order to put specific abilities onto equipment, which for endgame is pretty important. But for now, we just have the Rod of Wisdom, which compared to her staff is obviously a lot better. You get plus 8% magic score and sensor to see enemies' HP. That being said, yeah, okay. Oh, I forgot to go back.
Here comes one now. Hey, why don't you try out that sword I gave you?
No problem.
Not too shabby. You kept up with him pretty well. Might make a good guardian someday. A flyer. My kind of customer.
Okay, so we'll get another lesson on that in a minute. But a lot of the early parts of this game, for the combat, it's sort of based around not a dog. Dog, do something. Oh. Is that the item shop or is this the item shop? I think this is the item shop. Yeah. Okay. Here you go. My dog dug something up yesterday. I wonder what it was. Not rock, paper, scissors, but sort of based on like an efficiency system or I don't know, whatever it is. Basically, there are enemies that are really fast. They have a high evasion score. And so in order to... Valfor has learned Overdrive, Energy Blast. Let me just interrupt myself. So Valfor is the only Aeon that gets 2 Overdrives. The only way you get the second one is if you do what I just did and get Energy Blast. Energy Blast, I think, is just pretty much better in almost every way. So you might as well just do that real quick and get it. So to hit the evasive enemy, you need an accurate character, which for a while is going to be Titus. He's the most accurate characters. Flyers, you want to use Waka, because he has the only real ranged weapon.
Looks like trouble.
And then we have...
Watch this!
Elemental enemies, such as this Flan.
Told ya, only magic can beat that thing. If you can't beat them down, you gotta use magic of an element they don't like.
Magic? Element?
Let's have our black mage show you what I mean. Lou, you're up.
Clueless, aren't you? Good thing I'm here.
Now,
Spells of ice work well against fire fiends. And ice fiends are weak against fire magic. You follow?
I get fire and ice, but what about lightning and water?
Lightning and water are opposed, just like fire and ice. This one here is a water fiend, which means...
Anyways, what was that? Yeah, so Elemental, he said... you need magic to beat him, which you don't. I mean, I did 50 damage to this thing. Now you'll see, just a basic thunder spell does 360. But it's not like you can't kill him otherwise. They're not immune to other forms of damage. It's just way less. They have a high defense. And there's another type of enemy that is very armored, and so you depend on Orin to hit those because he has this special type of weapon, basically. So this all sort of matters early on, but much later, it's far less bothersome.
Take your time.
Let's get going, man.
We're gonna wait.
Huh?
Are you ready?
What's going on?
It's an ancient custom. People leaving the island pray here for a safe trip. Chappu didn't pray that day. Said he'd miss his boat. That should do it.
And so, my brother played this game, and he only played, like, I don't even know if he got halfway through it. But he complained that, like, you know, this sort of rock, paper, scissors system where it's like, oh, I have to use Titus to kill this thing, I have to use Waka to kill this thing, I have to bring in Lulu to kill this thing, and then I have to bring in Orin to kill this thing, and blah, blah, blah. You really don't. You really don't. Like, I practically never swap out characters for specific purposes. And really, if you're having any trouble with any enemy, you just bring in Yuna and have her summon, and then it dies. And that's how that works. I mean, when you get Orin, yeah, you kind of want him there for those specific enemies. But again, later on, that really is just nullified. Any character can do anything. And so it all just is good. Kilika and Biconel join as one. I hope nothing attacks me. Oh my god, it's a big beast guy. So, Kamari is this game's blue mage, and he's probably the coolest looking blue mage in the series. Although it's funny that he's actually blue. He's also the game's dragoon, so it makes me feel kind of conflicted, because I don't like blue mages, but I like dragoons.
That's enough.
What's with that guy?
Himari Ronso, of the Ronso tribe. He's learned the Fiend's way of fighting.
That's not what I meant.
He's another of Yuna's guardians.
Huh?
Sometimes we don't understand him either. Kamari doesn't talk much anyway. But he has protected me since I was a child.
And we got a hunter's sword, which is funny. It has sensor, which is not really better than plus 5% strength, but there you have it. Funnily enough, at this point, if you head back to Besaid and go to the shop, they actually sell equipment now that you can buy. I don't know why suddenly that lady opens up her inventory, but there you have it. So this is another forced encounter against a Garuda.
A flyer! That's your department, right?
True. But, why don't we let our summoner show us what she's made of?
Alright, so Titus has to switch out for this one.
Your first real battle. Let's see some style.
Show us what your training has taught you, Yuna.
Okay.
Okay, so we will summon Baleful, and now you get to see what that's all about. Okay, so, like I said, each summon has their own overdrive and their own abilities, and they can actually, you can give them new abilities as you go on. So Baleful, of course, has a basic attack. He has the basic black magic, and he also has sonic wings, which is really nice because it delays an enemy's turn. So you can see the effects on the timeline there. Sonic Wings usually does not work on a bunch of bosses, but for anything else, it's kind of nice. And they have their own HP and MP, and aside from them, like, healing themselves in combat, the only way to heal them, I'm pretty sure, is at a save point. I don't think it's like Final Fantasy VIII, where you can get a bunch of items that you heal your summon, your aeons. Alright, so we have Energy Blast, Energy Ray. They both deal non-elemental damage to all enemies, but since we have Energy Blast, we might as well use it. You can see that once you use this, the enemy, if it's not dead, it gets 3 turns in a row. So sometimes you might use an overdrive hoping it'll kill him, but then you end up dead instead. But, you know, once your summon dies, your party comes right back out, and usually not that big of a deal. Okay. This is another forced encounter.
Another one of those. No problem. Leave this one to me, huh? Say goodnight, birdie.
Thunder. So with the Garuda blinded, there's really not much danger here, so we can just keep smacking him until he dies. So fun fact, if you use like an editor or something like that to randomize your sphere grid to have an interesting playthrough, it's pretty much required that you edit a save file past this point. Because these little tutorial sections depend on characters having certain abilities, such as Waka there using Dark Attack. Like, he has to use it. It's the only thing he can do is use Dark Attack. And if you randomize the Spear Grid, he might not start with Dark Attack. And so it basically breaks the game. So you pretty much have to edit a save that's past this point. I'll let you know when we get to the point where the save usually starts from. So here you have the perfect sort of rock, paper, scissors situation. You have Titus that kills this wolf because he's the only one that can pretty much hit it. You have Waka hit the flyer because that's how that works. And then you have Lulu hit the flan because she can kill it in one hit. And so I can understand a little bit of like if you're just playing early on and it's like, okay, well that's how it all works and that's how the fights work and blah blah blah. I can see how it could be not very interesting. But if you put the time into this game, it gets far, far more entertaining. At least in my opinion. Okay. There's some... We want to talk to some people here. Knew this time would come someday, I knew. What about you? What do you got to say? You got nothing. They're really leaving. Here, a farewell gift from all the village. 400 gil. So many things I want to tell her, but seeing her there smiling, I just can't say it. Hey you, the sea's crawling with fiends, so blah blah blah. I got pushed by Waka. I won't cry. I won't, yeah? Alright. Anybody else have any items for me? You got items. Now's the time. Kids, you want to give anything to Lady Yuna? Yeah? Phoenix down ×3. There should be a couple more. Here. Gift from the temple. Seeker's ring. Nice. I thought there was one more. You little shit. Oh, here. Remedy. Thank you. Alright, now we got it all. We shaked them down. Okay. That's mean. I'm being mean.
Goodbye.
Boo.
What are you doing? You ain't Zidane, baby. Thinking you're just some weird monkey dude. Can't call people monkeys. Yes. 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 Uh-oh. Abort. You're supposed to just glance, man. Like it's the sun. Okay. We are on our way to a new city.
Oh, them's fascinating clothes you're wearing. Yeah! Filthy, filthy. These
Filthy,
won't say
filthy.
All me name's not a Waka. Don't look like you got much money, either. I've no business with you. Out of me way.
Who do you think you are?
Awaka the 23rd, merchant extraordinaire.
Awaka the who?
Don't know me? Well, not many do. Not yet.
So Owaka is kind of the Stiltskin of this game, in a sense. He's a recurring merchant that appears throughout the game.
But someday, the name Owaka will be spoken all over Spira. Say, lad, you wouldn't have a bit of gil to lend?
Yes, I do. So he wants a donation of gil, and in turn, this will help him and his merchantry in the future. It's kind of like, I don't know, I'm sure there's a better example. It's kind of like in Fallout 2, in the den, if you give that one bum, like, some money, like, he becomes, like, a successful businessman later and sells you stuff. It's kind of like that, but instead of expanding his inventory, it changes his prices. And this depends on how much money you give him. So if you give him anywhere from 0 to 100, his price later on, his price is double. So you give him $100, he doubles his prices. If you give him 101 to 1,000, they go up by 50%. 1,001 to 10,000, they go up by 20%. And 10,001 or more, they reduce by 30%. So it's really only excellent if you give him over 10,000 gil. I like that. If you give him exactly 10,000, he's like, I'll raise it by 20%. It's almost insane for you to have 10,000 gil at this point. Possible, but insane. So, you do have time to donate a little later before he adjusts his prices. For right now, I guess I'll just give him 101.
I guess it pays to ask, thank you kindly.
That way, you know, that's like a 50% less than what he was going to raise it to. So, you know, in case I forget or I don't care or whatever later on, at least I get some sort of discount. Alright, I guess I'll end this video the same way Spoony ended his first Final Fantasy X video. And that's at this suitcase. I'll explain how this suitcase actually works next time, although it was pretty funny in his video. But alright, my name is Mangg. Game you're watching has been Final Fantasy X. I'll see you fine folks in the next part.